1320 or twitch.tv/ESPN 1320. We're simulcasting the show over there. Sports Talk on ESPN 1320 is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL and CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. James Ham, the Kings Beat and the KingsBeat.com. You broke the news yesterday that Keegan Murray is headed down to Stockton to get some work in. He's been cleared for 5-on-5. He's been cleared for regular basketball activities, and he is set to return on the Kings' current road trip. They're not even waiting. Usually a team might wait till they get home to bring their player back, but the Kings said to hell with that. We play in Oklahoma City on Wednesday. That's tomorrow. And then Keegan Murray is set to come back on Thursday.
We're hoping.
That's the projected timeline. Now, again, if he works out and his body doesn't respond right, then it'll get pushed back. They haven't set that date in stone yet, but that's the date the Kings have circled on the calendar as November 20th at the Memphis Grizzlies for Keegan Murray's return.
Yeah, I mean, so basically he's flying out to OKC and will meet up with the team. I don't think he will play against the Thunder, but there's a very good chance he does play on Thursday against Memphis. And that's a good thing. I mean, like, look, we don't know what it means for the Kings. You know, like, we can speculate, but this team, it just looks like something is missing, and that ingredient could be Keegan.
Sure.
But it's also possible he just gets lost in what this team is. And that's a problem. I mean, like, you don't want him to get lost, but this team is broken right now. And I don't think you can look at Keegan as a savior, but I do think you can look at him as like one of the pieces that will hopefully be part of what's next.
Here's where I do want to spin it forward and talk about where he fits long term, but I want to go back to a conversation we were having on the handoff yesterday, and I want to put this out to Kings fans. Whether you're in the chat on YouTube at youtube.com/ESPN 1320, or if you want to give us a call on the Elk Grove Kia Talk line 916-909-1320, that's 916-909-1320. I wonder. Kenny was saying yesterday during the handoff, which is coming up at 11:45 in about an hour, that there's just not a reason to watch the Kings right now. That the youths would rather go watch Mikey Williams at a Sac State game than go to a Kings game. TV's on, football on Sunday, Kings are on during the Niner game. You got Kings on the second screen right now because there's just not a reason to tap in. Nick Clifford playing 11 minutes, not a super exciting player. Is Keegan Murray that guy? Does Keegan Murray up the interest level a little bit? Because it does for me. Yeah. As somebody, you're different because it's your job to watch in a different way that it's my job to watch. But for me, I'm more excited to turn the Kings game on if Keegan Murray plays on Thursday. I'm far more excited to turn Thursday's game on than I am Wednesday's game. Because I'm so intrigued by, not necessarily because I think Keegan Murray is going to come out and look like Kawhi Leonard, but because it's just something different. He is such a dramatic outlier from the rest of the Kings roster that I think it's impossible to not be at least a little bit intrigued or a little bit excited by what he brings.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's the what if, right? Because we very quickly understand what this team is, and what this team is not good enough. Right? It's not good enough to compete on a nightly basis. And you always have this, well, what if Keegan would have been healthy? And, you know, again, as opposed, could they have picked up another 1 or 2 wins? And that's it. That's all it would have been. It would not have been like an extra 5 or 6 wins.
Yeah.
But you're stuck in this idea that there is no way to turn the season around like so quickly. And one of the few ways in which you can is Keegan and his appearance. The problem is like we don't know how he's going to play with the hand the way that it is. We also, you know, you don't know if injuries are going to pop up again, not just with the hand, but like, look, you're looking at a player who's being dropped into a season out of nowhere. And so I think that there's a lot of positivity here. I think a lot of people should be like excited about the opportunity of Keegan getting back on the floor and what that potentially could mean. But I'm going to warn people that if you're disappointed because he's averaging 11 or 12 points per game and he's shooting 32% from three, number one, the hand is going to affect what he's doing. Number two, he's still getting dropped onto the same roster that's miscast and put together poorly that he was already going to be on. And so, like, again, you can't really expect him to be the guy if you have all these other players that consider themselves the guy and aren't going to help Keegan take that next step.
I guess I'm out on the hand thing. That's an insane thing to say.
Okay.
I don't if it's going to affect his play, then don't come back yet. Isn't it his offhand too?
Well, it's his offhand, but not really. So he shoots right-handed, but he's actually left-handed.
Right, understood.
It's his left-handed that's injured.
But he shoots right-handed. If it's going to be so bad that we're going, hey, Keegan that hand is hampering him so bad, then don't put him on the court yet.
Well, yeah, but I think you're going to have to put him on the court to get his rhythm back, to find out, like to have him progress early. So what I'm saying is, like, don't expect him to come out and score 30 points in the first game. Like, he's going to need some time to ramp up. And the Kings don't really have that time because the schedule doesn't wait for Keegan Murray, right? So I'm not saying that, but I am saying that, like, look, in order for him to be someone who actually makes an impact on everything, they have to include him. And they haven't the last year. So that's my concern. It's that he's just in a holding pattern until a bunch of these other guys are gone and they've been traded or their contracts expire. That Keegan's being told the same thing everywhere. Just wait till 2027. It's like, yeah, well, I'll be 27 at that point. Like, what exactly are we doing here? Right. So I not only want to see Keegan Murray on the court, but I want to see, after a game or two of him getting acclimated, I want to see him be a major functional piece of what this team is doing going forward. And if that means that you need to pull other guys and sit them, then you have to do that. Like, the idea moving forward should be, how do we test what Keegan Murray is, and how do we get to the maximized version of Keegan Murray as soon as possible? Because, again, there are so few paths forward for this team, and he's one of them, and he's your highest end opportunity to move forward.
Yeah, man. My concern is, and it's what you're saying, that we see Keegan's numbers actually dip, just the raw numbers this year. Because somebody posted on Twitter yesterday a video of Keegan lighting up the Utah Jazz from 2023, I think. And it was so jarring. The amount of player movement and the amount of ball movement, and watching a defense scramble to guard the Kings, it was like watching a different sport than what we watch them do offensively right now.
Yeah.
It was Sabonis, and he gets it to somebody who touches the paint, and they kick it out to Keon. He attacks a closeout, another pass, extra pass up top, extra pass. Keon wide open above the break, knocks down a three. I just don't know that those shots are going to be there for Keegan in whatever this version of the offense is.
Yep.
It's either going to be create your own shot, which I don't think Keegan is want to do, and it's going to be, oh, hey, here's a grenade. Like, we happen to get it to Keegan in the corner with a few seconds on the shot clock. Like, you gotta hoist it.
We feel better about that than we do Precious.
No doubt. It's a great point.
I mean, not to call out Precious, but
okay. Here's an interesting thing. Oh, before we, sorry, I don't want to get sidetracked. ADD radio, but I think every Keegan 3 is going to be something of an accident. Not all of them, obviously, but I think a lot of them are going to be something of an accident. And B, if I'm an opposing team, I go, okay, great. We're just going to take a guy and make sure he hangs out with Keegan, and we'll play 4-on-4 with whatever they want to do inside.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I am interested to see, though, when Keegan comes back, what if they do a thing where they start Domas at the 5, Precious at the 4, and Keegan at the 3. Like, how eager are they to get him into that role, which I think is what they signed him for. I don't think they gave him $28 million a year to be a 4.
a 12-point per game 3-and-D 4.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they signed him for. So I'm interested to see how they A, decide to integrate him, and B, what impact he can actually make.
Yeah. Every Keegan's 3, an angel gets his wings. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think that's what they say.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk more about Keegan Murray and what the starting lineup and such looks like whenever we get word that he's definitely coming back. It sounds like he's coming back on Thursday, according to our very own James Ham, but we got to see A, how he comes out of a practice, B, once he travels, how he's feeling on Thursday. I would assume he suits up, but